birdies, we had the dam. I think we're gonna go live.
Hi, mister John. I have a joke
Hey.
for our
He's
Friday,
hiding back
Wednesday
there.
day.
It is. Wednesday.
Yep, it is good to see you all. Hold on, I'm getting this working. I think I'm getting this working.
You're in a vehicle. Are you
Hold on.
driving and doing that at the same time?
Yeah, I'm not driving.
Okay.
Let's see here. How do I get this sound turned off on this thing here? Hold on a second, guys. I am technically inept at the moment.
Okay, Scott, there you go. There's your answer.
All right.
I was talking about button pushers on computers.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, I'm
let's
one
see
of those
here.
that believe it's going to blow up if you push the button.
Oh, there you go.
Here we are. Are we live? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our success call for Wednesday, the 24th of November, 2021. John Lavinia here with you, sitting outside of a diner that I've never been to before. You guys want to see where I am? Hold on a second here. This is Kingman, Arizona. There goes the train.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Check it out. Route
He ain't that
66,
far.
right?
Oh,
We got bikers.
56.
Look at that. God bless
cool.
America. God bless America. Look, there's Thunder Road, motorcycles, right? Actually,
How cool.
I just heard that that there was like some major motorcycle club criminal activity going on right here. You know who might know Joe? Joe, do you know? Not that you're in a biker club, but you're right up the street in Vegas, right? There was like $20 million worth of cocaine seized right on I-40, right outside of Kingman. So there you go. I would argue that we're doing.
Which club? Which biker club?
I don't know. I was just we were just driving up to Kingman. And my wife said, "Oh, do they have a problem with gangs here?" I'm like, "No, I think you're thinking of Whitman. Whitman is like right by Phoenix, between Phoenix and Wickenburg. And Whitman is known for, like, the police have to call the gang leaders ahead of time to let them know, hey, we're coming in to get the body. Don't shoot us. We're here to just, right? Like fire and police, they don't want to even show up in Whitman. Yeah, crazy stuff. What a world.
The reason why
show
I
you guys
ask is
my belt
because
buckle today. Sorry.
where, what? Who?
I have a Hell's Angels belt buckle on.
The Hell's Angels.
You guys want to see it?
Yeah,
They
Well,
just named me Princess.
It's kind of a long story, but
look the type,
yeah,
absolutely.
right there.
Oh, look at that.
That's
There it
pretty
is.
cool. I love
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
It's San Diego, I think. San Diego Hell's Angels. I don't want anybody to see it. That's in that,
well, how do you end up with something like that?
I was trying to buy this little camper off of this guy, and we just did some trades, and he's he ended up giving it to me, and I'm like, that is really cool.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah.
All right. Now we know.
When they were in Mississippi, they had a thing in Mississippi, and they lived in the same, they were moving all into Mississippi, and they lived in the same trailer park I did. So they gave me their biker name of Princess because I was going to college. So that was very protected and everything. I didn't go over, wasn't invited to their parties because they didn't want to corrupt me.
Too late.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, John, I've got a really funny joke for our Wednesday/Friday.
Yeah, you know what? Since this is our last meeting of the week, because we're going to do the Thanksgiving thing and the day after Thanksgiving, which is known as Black Friday in the retail world, give us a joke, Patricia, please, and aim to please, if you will.
What is the difference between naked and naked?
Oh, dear.
I don't know. What is the difference?
Naked means you ain't got no clothes on. Naked means you ain't got no clothes on and you're up to something.
That's great.
We're not going to say what you're up to, but you're up to something. And we stay naked here in Texas.
Is that for the military?
No, we stay naked here in Texas. We like it better.
Yeah, that sounds like something you'd have to live in the South to get that. I remember being on the gun range with this guy who was from the South, and he would talk about everybody get your raffle. And at one
Get
point I
your
asked them, you know, I didn't know
Raffle
that
ticket?
there was the letter. Does rifle have the letter A in it somewhere?
Yeah.
Raffle? What is a
Like
raffle?
Well, that's like saying you turn your light on and it's
Okay.
nighttime, you know.
All right, we got to
NAT,
get down to
LAT.
business. You guys, hold on. Enable live transcription. Okay. Are we still live on YouTube? I hope we are.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I can only see so much here with this thing. All right, very good. So welcome everyone to our daily success call. We're already 7 minutes into it, and we've been talking about nothing for 7 minutes.
No, you were
kind of
giving
like,
us the score.
yeah, no, it's all good, but kind of like a Seinfeld episode, right? So maybe that'll be our topic for today. Is we're doing Seinfeld. In fact, aren't we? Well, let's look at that here for a second. Here's this TV show that became wildly successful, which personally I don't know that I've ever seen a Seinfeld episode, but lots of other people have, and it's gotten to the point where if people can talk and be entertained with no specific agenda, that's kind of like a Seinfeld moment or Seinfeld whatever. And I was thinking right now about what everyone's doing with business and what actually attracts people. Sorry, Sparky or whoever's got Sparky over there.
Sheena.
Hey, Maggie. Okay, very good. So if you guys can handle your own microphones today, because I'm not doing the tech thing, I'm sitting on an iPhone. Excuse me, but you've got this attraction that people have when it's a word that we like to use a lot here in this group, when it's flippant. So when I think of like Seinfeld, or I think of what we're doing with print on demand e-commerce, the idea of flippancy comes up for me. So it's not so damn serious. Now look, people can go and engage in all kinds of different subject matter and go be serious in life. They don't need you for that. Okay, you're not. That tickled Joe. So I don't need you to help me be serious. You know what I could use some help with is a bit of flippancy, right? A bit of carefreeness. There's an affirmation that I got from, where did I get this? It might have been Deepak Chopra. I don't know if anybody's ever read any of his work, 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, and another guy with laws, right? Everybody's got to have laws these days. But anyway, I think I got it from him. And the affirmation was, I feel totally carefree about everything in life, including money. That's interesting. I feel totally carefree about everything in life, including money. So in the case of like seeking success and financial prosperity and affluence and all that, a lot of times people, while you may have flippancy or carefreeness in other areas of life, the thorn in the side of many people could be money, right? That could be something that keeps showing up as a deficit or something that's not so carefree. So why don't we just go ahead and do something, or announce to ourselves that we're carefree about everything in life, including that thing. Now, just hearing myself say that makes me think, all right, I'm on the right path, because when you're rigid, when you're tight, when you're serious, you're moving slow, everything's hard. Oh my goodness, it's all so serious, right? But when we think about speed, think about like great martial artists or great athletes, right? They're loose, they're fast, they're flowing, they're in the flow with it. It's not so damn serious. Now, they may be, in the case of like an athlete, they may be competing at a very high level, professional sports, millions of dollars. So there's some stakes on the table. That's fine. Okay. But they're excelling not because they're so damn rigid, but because they're able, like water, to pivot, to move around the rocks and to do whatever they need to do. So can we help people in whatever way you're showing up in the marketplace? Can we help people experience more of that? There's so much, and I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but there's so much that we could say is wrong in the world. Yeah. But look, any half an idiot can be a critic, right? You don't need a whole lot of intelligence to be critical right? So am I assisting, or am I benefiting people by, co-signing how serious things are? Or could I be a source of reprieve, carefreeness, flippancy? So I'm thinking about that for each of us here. Because look, in my world, right, with a lot of the stuff that I do, yeah, it's pretty serious, right? Into personal development and entrepreneurship and all the stuff that I teach and coach and mentor people and all that. We're talking about people's immediate and ongoing financial future. I take that seriously. Like I don't show up and just feel like, whatever. No, I kind of like order. I like precision. I like definiteness. And you guys know that about me. Those of you who've been hanging around for more than a couple minutes, right? So that's nice. But can we also balance that? I'm asking myself now, can I also balance that with something that is inviting, like a Seinfeld episode? There may be an embedded message, and I don't know because I'm not a Seinfeld fan, okay, but there may be something to glean from that, a moral to the story or something. And I know, having studied some of Jerry Seinfeld's interviews and whatever, that he certainly took his role as a comedian very seriously. Here's a guy who every day would write a joke a day, and he would never break that chain. I don't know how many of you know his method, but his method was to never break the chain. Every day write a joke, and a lot of it was crap. But the point is that he was so consistent that out of the piles and piles of material that he wrote every day, here's the gems, right? And he would go to the local, improv or whatever, and do some stand up and see what got a laugh, right? You think about that. Here's a guy who's arguably the highest paid comedian in history, TV show and everything else, right? And yet he would go to the local place and run his new material across, a small group, right? Maybe people knew he was going to be there, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's like, hey, great news, everybody! Surprise, Jerry Seinfeld's here tonight. I don't know. I don't know how that occurred, but still testing his material with smaller groups to see what's going to work, and he's arguably at the top of his game. So underneath all the fun, the flippancy, the seemingly meaningless banter that goes on in a Seinfeld episode, there was a lot of work happening there. So that's my consideration for everyone here today, is that while you're hopefully serious about succeeding in your business, you're not here just for a hobby or something. Okay, that's fine. Do your work, be definite, be diligent. But part of being diligent is to have fun, but to take delight in. The word diligence comes from the Latin root word diligere, which means to take delight in. That doesn't sound too serious. Now, you may be working your ass off, but you're having a blast. And that's how I see, my role in life, in the world, if I can remember it. I forget a lot. But when I can remember, what is the thing that actually attracts people, that draws people to you, that invites people to get closer to you, right? Obviously, agreement, right? Some shared knowingness, some shared understanding, reality. Okay, so that brings people closer to you, but also that you're approachable. All right. Now, I'm telling you all this, and you can see how you can decipher this and put it into, whatever you're putting out via coffee cups and T-shirts and whatever print on demand kind of stuff. And that's going to be different for everyone. But I would say that people buy from people. At least that's how it's occurred to me. Even when I show up on an Amazon, page or something, and I see the pictures and I read the text, and here's the bullet points and the benefits of the product or whatever. Somebody wrote that. Some human originated those thoughts. I am actually buying from a person via whatever technology. Okay. How does it make me feel when I look at that listing for the coffee cup, the piece of electronics, the shirt, the whatever the product happens to be? Because all sales are based on emotion. In fact, I've told some of you this story. I went in for this sales interview. This was when I was newer in sales. And the general manager of this corporation sat me down and he said, here's your interview. First question: when people buy, do they buy based on logic or emotion? And I said, emotion. Right. And then he said, great. Second question: what % of the time? And I said, 100. And he said, "You're hired. Get out of my office. Get to work." That was the whole interview, right? So considering that all sales are based on emotion. I mean, you can disagree with me, I suppose, if you want. See my wife and daughter coming out. Oh, they just went back in. Okay, I'm getting my seatbelt on because my wife's going to drive. And I'm going to sit here and talk with you guys. But considering that, what can you do to induce positive, uplifting emotion for the people, however they're confronting you in the marketplace? When they find you, what are they finding? Great question, right? And that will be answered via whatever products and whatever communication you're putting out about those products. I think right now, as we approach one of the most important holidays in the United States, I know Canada, you guys already had your Thanksgiving last month. United States, Thanksgiving's a big deal tomorrow. But as we approach that, if we could do that with some perspective, and the perspective I would offer you is that the whole reason that holiday even exists and that we give thanks is because we succeeded. We didn't at first, by the way. Anyone who's studied the origins of Thanksgiving and what happened with, here come these pilgrims coming over. Joe, if you can mute your microphone.
Myself.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Okay, so but anyone who's studied the origins of this very important and auspicious holiday, it was out of the rubble of a failed attempt to let's go have a colony, let's go do this whole America thing. Didn't work out at first, and there were some very obvious reasons for that, which some people have and some people haven't learned the lesson from. But when they started to cooperate, when they started to have what we could call here in modern times, or we can call a capitalistic system where you grow the corn, you hunt the turkeys, you go meet with the chief over there with the tribe, right? And people had their post, and they manned their post and they produced, right? Then they had the abundance pressed down and running over, and they praised, the heavens and, and gave thanks and all that. That's how this whole holiday came about, because of what they were able to create as individuals working cooperatively as a group. So I guess I'll end off with this, and then I'd love to hear your commentary. How is it that you can induce cooperation in other people? This really comes down to not just the products.
Your sound is off, John.
Not just the words you say, but how you say them.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
It's a pretty huge consideration, right? How am I showing up in the marketplace this holiday?
Hey, John,
John, we can't hear you.
you can't hear us either.
It might be his network. Southern roads.
Yeah, bumpy
Hi,
roads.
Because you're traveling.
Hello, Bob.
Hello, Bob. Hello, Bob. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, Missy.
Oh, we're muted. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Is John?
John is blissfully unaware.
He'll take a breath soon. Don't worry. Then we can tell him. He can't really look at the chat, while he's.
Yeah, he can't. He's, yeah.
In call signs?
Yeah, does anybody know sign language?
Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you got to hear the rest of that. When my wife started the car, for some reason the car Bluetooth picked it up. Are we live?
We are now.
Yeah.
No.
Very good. Your thoughts, please.
What?
Well, people are there
On
for
what?
a reason.
Yeah.
They're coming to you for a reason, so at least you have that common ground to begin with. And then it's up to you to take the ball and run with it and create that relationship as best you can in the brief time you have. And as you say, once you've identified yourself as a person, then you can basically go anywhere you want. You've got to come across as a real person first.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah, it's so much more endearing, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And no need to be so damn serious about it. I mean, look, none of us are well, this is not meant to be a validation or to diminish what we're doing here, but none of us are like saving the whales or, curing cancer or whatever. Although that's a possibility, right? Probably not through, coffee cups and t-shirts and print on demand. But, right, if we put things in perspective, like there's people in the world with real problems, right? Let's us not be one of their problems, right?
I mean, coffee is not a necessity. I mean, if you're talking about coffee mugs, it's not one of life's absolute essential things. So I mean, you have to put it in that context.
We have some people that would argue that, actually, Scott. So
yeah. You're right.
Good times. Yeah. I remember it was a couple of months ago, Scott, it was before you got here. I had offered the idea that that none of us in print on demand are selling necessities. In other words, this isn't like I need another coffee cup. And then somebody argued that with me. It's like, no, I actually do need more coffee cups. I was like, yeah, well, my wife and daughter have a cabinet full of them and they keep buying more. I don't understand it, but something about coffee cups.
It's an obsession.
Anyway, she says it's an obsession. That's my wife, Shannon, by the way. There she is. Many of you haven't met her. My daughter,
Hi.
Trinity, back there. Yay. Okay.
I don't even understand it.
Any other thoughts? Thank you, Scott. Any other thoughts today? Thank you guys for self-managing with the microphones and stuff. I appreciate that. I can barely keep my headset hooked up. By the way, how does this sound? Usually I talk to you in my studio. It sounds good? Okay.
Not bad.
Oh, good. All right.
Don't
Very
worry,
good.
Joe, we'll send you the bill.
Okay. Send me the bill. Thank you, Chukwemeka. Chukwemeka, you got any thoughts on this? I know you've seen a lot in your life, right? Any ideas on this, Chukwemeka?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Well, you're hosting tomorrow, so gather your thoughts.
Deborah has her hand up, John.
Hey, Deborah, I can't see hands.
Hey,
so whatever
John.
you guys,
Hello,
go ahead.
everyone.
Huh?
Hi, do you hear me?
I can.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm like you, John. I'm from the car talking, but when you mentioned Seinfeld, it took me maybe a couple of years to kind of understand how you create a program so popular and it's about nothing. But I cannot, as a person, relate to that because what Rachel has done, what we're all here for, has a purpose, whether it's singly for each of us. And I am too structured in certain areas to not look at something like Steinfeld did in his episodes. And they were good. Sometimes they were funny, but I think his stand-up was probably better. But I
Okay.
think we still need to go back to us and our purpose and what is important to us and approach our days like that, because I just can't do it. Maybe there are other people that can, but I'm doing this for a purpose for me. And it's even though the ideas may come from nowhere, somewhere out that when I wasn't expecting, but I still think it has to, for me, have a purpose. That's all.
Right. Well, yeah, it all has a purpose. And so I 100% agree, right? I mean, what's the simplest definition of work is on purpose action, right? Simple as that. So what's the alternative? No purpose or no action. Neither of those sound good to me. So yeah, I'm with you. But with what emotion, with what seriousness was the word that came up for me before, are we approaching that with? Is it an easy flowing experience or is it drudgery? Oh, right. So I hear you, my friend. Glad you're here. Thank you for sharing all that. And you've got a lot of purpose. Really glad you're here with us.
Yeah.
Awesome
John,
stuff.
John, if I
Yes.
can mention, I think with Seinfeld, the thing about him is that he highlighted the essential comedic absurdity of existence, of life itself.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you could walk down the street and just see, if you were in tune with it, you could see the comic absurdity of so much. And I think he helped us to see that. And that's why when people see Seinfeld, it's I mean, you say it's out of nothing, but it's out of the things that are around him. The things that he comes across each day, part of his life.
Inside, and then I gotta go inside.
There's only 3
Right.
working pumps, so it's fine.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Sorry, we're at a gas station and my wife had to talk to the guy about the gas pump. So No, I'm with you. I'm with you. That's great. I mean, nothing gets done without a reason to get it done. So, back to that, what we were just hearing, it's very, very relevant. And look, you can brighten somebody's day in so many ways, and with the products that you're creating and putting out there. Here's the thing. I don't know what effect I'm going to have long range when I look at, how I've had people come to me 20 years later and say, John, that thing you said in that lecture in the workshop, and my goodness, my life changed. I'm like, okay, what was it? If you could remind me, that would be awesome. Because I don't know how far, the message is going to reach. Just like, you guys are familiar with the butterfly effect. You know what that means? Like the theory. So the butterfly flaps its wings and it moved the air, and the next thing you know, it made the tornado. And then on the other side of the world, the sailboat went. I don't know. The butterfly didn't know. So I guess to that end, we can just kind of relax a little bit and just do what we know how to do. What do you think, Missy and Bob? I think I saw your hand up. I can't see too many things. Right
My hand is up. All I know is there is joy in this journey. If you're here and you're not feeling joy in everything you're doing, I'm not sure why you're here. And that's beyond the purpose. And I have reached a new stratosphere, because even the glitch, I'm leaving Gear Bubble with an impression of increase, because they're trying. It's a very complicated platform. Etsy took down a product. I wrote them a letter, and then at the end I said, thank you for this place to write this letter. And it's just, that is a little flippancy for me. But if you need to go watch the episode where George Costanza starts doing the opposite, and that's what changed his life. Now, I'm not an idiot like George Costanza, but I'm doing the opposite of what I used to do, because my life was so serious with terrible health and, ready to cash in chips. And the flippancy came with the work and facing the fact that this thing has to be overcome. And it wasn't going to be overcome by wishing and, make it go away. That was not a purpose. So the purpose and the work brought the joy, and the joy brought the flippancy, and your advice, of course, as well. It goes very far and will last beyond all our lifetimes. The ripples in the pond that you're making are extremely important, and they kept at least one person alive, me. So
Wow.
Thank you.
I will verify you weren't an idiot like George Costanza.
Yeah, thanks.
You were an idiot in a healthy way. But
I can still put a pen in your eye. Don't forget that part.
aren't we
Oh my God.
all idiots in our own way? And isn't that the basis?
I'm guessing that
Yes.
I'm guessing that George Costanza is a character, not an actual person.
He's a character. He's Jerry's best friend. But everything always
Very
goes
good.
wrong for him until
He
he
couldn't-
does the
he-
opposite.
He couldn't have been that big an idiot. He was the only one that had a job.
There you go.
Well,
Look at that.
Well,
Good perspective,
he switched
John.
from having tuna to chicken, and that's what started making the difference. He started from the formless substance. He got to work for the New York Yankees, which was the dream of his life.
No, he wanted to work for
Got
the
it.
Mets.
But he was
He's right.
the point is that he portrayed a dummy. Like the guy is he's not bright, he makes blunders
No,
and all
he's
that.
bright. He just, every decision he made was wrong because his parents, Jerry Stiller, there were nutcases, and so he
Okay.
was nutty. So he went the other way, and he found
None of them
success.
had
and he became
jobs.
happy.
None of them had jobs. They were all trying to tweak the system for their own benefit. It was a show about, some very selfish people living in a very, materialistic society. I mean, it's like,
Okay.
I mean,
Well, millions of people apparently were entertained by it. So there has to be, when we talk about comedy, it's got to be based on some degree of truth, right? It's relatable.
yeah,
Relatable.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is irony, the irony.
Sure.
Comedy is irony.
Good stuff. Well, thank you, my friends. Thank you for being here with us. I'm wishing you all, whether you're in the States or not, a beautiful Thanksgiving and rest of your week in preparation for, all heck is about to break loose in the world of business and commerce. So does somebody else have their hand up? Somebody else was saying hello?
Happy
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
Evelyn.
Yes. Helen.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing anybody else.
well, I was
So,
saying something. I just wanted to say something about the whole deal. You know, when it came down to George, we were all rooting for George all the time. You know, he was that character in the story that we just had to say, "Come on, George, you can do it." You know, and George was always doing it. You know, it was amazing. You know, and then you had Kramer. You know, I mean, talk about the throw off. But back to what Scott was saying. You know, about how they pointed out the views and made it funny. Well, that's what we're doing too with our humorous gear that we make. And we want to point out the funny things in life that maybe somebody isn't seeing. And maybe we see the humor in naked red fishing, whatever kind of red fish those were that Patricia goes doing, you know, but naked, or however she says it. But yeah, I really think that that's what we're doing. You know, when we're in that moment, we're in that motion of doing this. And I think it's awesome. That's about all I have
Wow.
to say.
thank you, Scott. I know you're going to be hosting a breakout room here as soon as we're done.
Yeah, we'll be doing that
Sure.
too.
Very good. Okay. Any other
I think it
thoughts
was the
before we
only
wrap
one I
up?
could identify with.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
my friend.
Thanksgiving.
All right. So good
Can
to
I
see
bring
you
up
all.
what-
Lovely
Yeah.
to have you on.
Patricia.
I was just going to say happy Thanksgiving, but also from the other side of it, Jeff Foxworthy and Bill Engvall and Larry the Cable Guy, they all play off of each other. And Larry the Cable Guy is always the stupid one, but he's the one that gets the laughs the most.
They're hilarious.
You know? And so you just have to come up with each different part of the United States also has different things, but everybody across the United States finds humor from other people, other sections. So that's just a thought, but y'all have a good weekend. Be safe.
Thank you, my friend. All right.
And
We'll see you all
hi to
again
John's
on-
family.
Thank you. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you. I'll be back here on Monday. Have a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving, whether you're here in the States or not. And, you know, let somebody know that you're grateful for them. I'm grateful for all
Me
of you.
too.
Thanks for being a part of this.
We're
see you